Good morning. Good morning. I'm Christian Tamaria. I'm from the Philippines. I joined Forever Living 6 years ago. And the person who invited me was my own sister. And is it okay for me to share how I started Forever Living? Sure. I know we have very little time. My sister invited me, just called me up over the telephone, and she told me that, why don't you attend the seminar, a business opportunity meeting with Forever Living? And she told me that I am going to earn an extra 50,000 pesos, or about $1,000 US. Okay, and I did not believe her for 3 reasons. One, she was a housewife for the last 9 years. 2, she had no marketing and selling experience. And 3, sometimes she borrowed money from me. On the other hand, I was quite successful in my career. I was a vice president of a telecommunications provider in our country, in the province. And second, I had the marketing and selling experience, and that's why I did not believe her. So it took me 3 months before I joined and listened to an opportunity meeting. Because the first time I went to the product center, I saw all these products, all the shampoos, the toothpaste that we have, the products that we have. And I got discouraged because I thought I'm going to go around in my city, just like Santa Claus, and selling all these products. And I did not understand. Later, I realized when my sister, on her 3rd month, she was earning 107,000 pesos, or roughly about more than 2,000 US. I realized that there was something in this business, Forever Living Products. So without her knowing it, I attended the meeting. That very same night, I qualified. I went home, and me and my wife did not talk for about 3 days. Because she thought I joined something which was not good. So I started calling up all my friends. I started inviting them. I started calling up more than 100 people during my first month. I was so excited because I saw my sister successful in this business. And good news, out of more than 100 people, only about 5 people listened to me. And about 3 qualified and got their first 2 cases. And only about 2 really became active. That's why my first check, if you will allow me to share it to you, was only about $20 US. Quite small. That was my first volume bonus check. No? The second check I had was only about $60 US. And my wife told me, we better stop doing Forever Living. And all my friends were telling me and my wife that, you just made the worst decision in your entire career. And did we stop doing Forever Living? No. We continued because we were able to see the vision. We were able to see something better, something new, and we know there was something into this business that I was reading all the brochures from some other countries, and I was wondering, how come some people become successful and how come we cannot do it here in our own country? Okay, so I moved on, I continued. Later I'm going to show you how I was able to do it step by step. And finally, on our 3rd month, we became managers. And my first check as a manager was about more than 2,000 US. And it went up. We became sapphire managers after 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And on the 5th year, on June last year, we first earned our first $1 million peso check, which is about 20,000 US. And well, plus of course the profit sharing which I got last year. It was the first time I received the 3rd level profit sharing, and it's really an honor for me to share whatever I know, whatever little knowledge that I can share to you today. And I hope you will give it all your attention. And these are the following steps which I did by doing Forever Living. First, I call this the how to get your goals or how to get your dreams. No, these were the steps I made. First, I always tell my downlines. Okay, I always tell my downlines. I joined Forever Living because all of us, of course, we have our own. Is it true? All of us have our own dreams to achieve, right? Okay, so I always tell them, what is the shortest route between now and your dreams? And a lot of people normally put up some answers, but I always tell them, in Forever Living, the shortest route between now and your dreams, it will always start from you. I always ask them the question, what do you really want in life? Because for me, the reason why a lot of people do not become successful in life, especially in Forever Living, it's because until today they are still confused. They are still confused as up to what they're really going to do. Are they going to be employees for the rest of their lives? Are they going to be in a traditional business, or are they going to do multi-level marketing or network marketing? So the first thing I tell my downlines is, first you have to decide that you want success in life. And before moving on to the next step, you have to first decide and ask yourself before you go to sleep, what do you really want in life? Because all of us, we have our own dreams to achieve. And it matters, no? Because once you have decided, if you ask me, the reason why I joined Forever Living, there were a lot of things, no? It was not just the money, although I was attracted to the money at first, but later I realized there was more to than just making money in Forever Living. Okay, and the last part I'm going to share it to you. Because once you decide, the next thing you're going to do is, of course, your attitude. As we always say in the NDO, 85% of our success is based on attitude, and it's only 15% skill. And now I realized why my sister, plain housewife for the last 9 years, okay, without any marketing and selling experience. Our top distributor in the Philippines, a jeepney driver, now making more than ₱1 million also. He has a Ferrari in the Philippines. He was able to buy a total of 14 cars. Got a profit sharing check of also more than $250,000 US. How come in just a short span of time? And I realized all these people changed their attitude. First, we decided to do FLP. Second, we changed our attitude. When I say attitude, most of us are now, we think that we are now on top of our own careers, of our own mountains of success. Whether it be employment, whether it be business, before we joined Forever Living. Then now, we saw a taller mountain, which we call Forever Living. So if you want to arrive from this point to another higher point, what's the first thing you should do? You have to first humble down yourself. When I say humble down yourself, you should be willing to make a commitment. Whether part-time or full-time in this business, it's very important, okay, that you have to change your attitude. As they always say, to change your life, you should always you have to change your attitude. Okay? So, and then you have to start again. That's why when I started Forever Living, this is really quite a very humbling experience for me. Going to school in a very prestigious school in our country, and doing great in my own career, and here comes my sister telling me, join Forever Living. We can make money there. And at first I did not believe her. Here comes my mother after a week, forcing me to attend the meeting. because my mother attended. After a week, my sister joined, and I still did not believe them. And then they called up my elder brother, who was a lawyer in our country. In fact, the first lawyer manager in Forever Living Philippines. But before that, she was telling my sister, "Are you insulting me? You know, I'm a lawyer, and you want me to sell toothpaste?" So me and my elder brother, we really did not humble down ourselves until we saw our sister making a lot of money. And then we started to open up our minds. We realized that it's not the skill, it's not the communication skills, it's not the marketing experience that you should have in order to have success in this business. No matter how ordinary person you are, whoever you are, as long as you can have the same mindset as what the owner has gave us, then I'm quite sure that all of us here are going to become very, very successful in Forever Living. And when I say the right mindset, I am referring to our president and owner and founder himself, Mr. Rex Mon. Okay, and I have read all the brochures, and I realized he was always referring to Jonathan Livingstone Seagull, the book. You know, Jonathan slept less, worked harder than everybody else, and believed he could achieve his goal in spite of the community that he was staying with for so many years, discouraging him, telling him that he's not going to make it because they were already, you know, older than him. And every day I always remember that. And that is one of the reasons why I know someday I'm also going to achieve success in this company. Okay? So, as soon as you have the right attitude, by having humility, commitment, okay, now you are now ready to learn. If you notice, the arrow is going down because the first part of your career in Forever Living, this is what you call, you have to spend time. You have to sacrifice. Okay? Just like the illustration I just wrote here. You have to first go down. Some people would like to make it fast. Okay? Some people would like to make money right away, but as soon as they reach the top, that's also how fast they go down. When I started Forever Living, I started slow. As I told you, I was just making $20 US, $60 US. My friends were laughing at me. When I attend the meetings with my friends, nobody wanted to sit beside me because they were so afraid that I would sell them products that they did not like at first. And you know, my wife was telling me we better quit Forever Living because, you know, all our friends are now starting to shy away from us. We might lose face. So I just told my wife, you know, the reason why people will not join this company, it's not because they do not like Forever Living. It's simply because they do not understand what is in store for them if they join Forever Living. They haven't even attended any opportunity meetings yet. That's why they do not know what we saw and what we heard from this business. That's why we have to go on. I decided that I have to inform all my friends, relatives, everyone that I know and I will meet, that I am doing Forever Living products. Because I do not like that when the time comes that what if I become successful, they will come back and tell me, "Hey buddy, why didn't you invite me to that opportunity?" That's why I really told them that, you know, I am into Forever Living and I want you to join me because I know there's something here. And this business can help us a lot, especially in our country, wherein there are so many unemployed people today. And the poverty line is about 14,500 pesos, so roughly about $300 US. If a family is earning about $300 US, you belong to the poverty line. And about majority of the population belongs to that level. That's why I always remember what Rex Mon, every time he comes to the Philippines, and he always ends up with saying, Forever Living Products is always the hope of the Filipino people. That's why you have to learn. We always have to say that you always have to have good learning attitude. What do you learn? First, you have to learn the marketing plan. The OPP, we call it. Do you also call it OPP in the US? Okay, Opportunity Plan Presentation, the OPP, or the Business Opportunity Meeting. You also have to learn the products, not just by learning them by attending seminars, learning them by using all the products by yourself and gaining insights. Because our business is based on product consumption. If you leaders will not use the products, do not expect all the people you invite will also do the same. As Katrina was telling us, this is a copy business. But it's very important you have to learn, not just the marketing plan. Because some people are very good at networking, but they do not know most of our products. They only know a few products which they can sell right away. But if you really want to master the business and become really successful in forever living, you have to use the products. And for the last 6 years, I'm so happy that me and my wife and my 5 kids now, going 6th, for the last 6 years, because of forever living products, we have 0 medical expenses. And I thank forever living for that. That's why you have to learn. You have to learn. And of course, after you learn the OPP, the marketing plan, you also have to attend some motivational trainings. You have to attend some rallies by force, if it's possible. Then the next step is, of course, as soon as you learn, you are now going to gain knowledge about FLP. And this is very crucial. Why do some people get discouraged right away? Because they don't see the vision. They don't see the future of FLP in their lives. They don't see the future of FLP in their community, in their country. They just do forever living at their own convenient time. If they have some extra time, well, let's do forever living now. That's the reason why until today, some of them are not yet that successful compared to some people who were able to make it. Because when we started, we spent time. You have to spend time. And I always tell my downlines that the investment that you make, the most important investment that you make in this business is not the money that you put in. It's the time. All of us have time. But it will depend on how you spend time. So when I started, I spent time first believing in myself, changing my attitude, believing that I will become successful in forever living. Then I learn. Then I gain knowledge about the marketing, about the products, about all the trainings in this business. And because I gain knowledge, then you are now able to teach. You are now able to teach. When I was starting in forever living, the speaker always used to tell us that, people who learn how to hold the microphone are those people who always earn big money. And in this business, you also have to learn to teach. For me, forever living is not just a selling career. This is more of a teaching career than a selling career. If you have knowledge about the products, you have knowledge about the business, then you can teach. You can show people how to do the marketing plan. You can show people how to do the business, how to use the products. Teach them what? Teach them how important the business is to their lives and how important the products are to their body. These are the 2 most important things that you have to teach a new distributor. Do you follow? Do you follow? Yes. Okay? So, as soon as you teach the marketing and the products. Next is you can now be duplicated. You can now be duplicated. You start alone. You learn the business first. That's why when you start, you sacrifice, you spend time. Your income is not that big yet. But time will come as you gain more knowledge. You teach more people. Your downlines will also learn. And then tomorrow they can now teach. And once that happens, if your group, your network knows how to learn, and all of them can teach, learn, teach, then that means you are now being duplicated. Then what happens? Your business will now start to grow. As Katrina was telling us earlier, go wide fast first. She started saying, what should be first, go wide or go deep? My answer, wide is deep. If you go wide and you teach all your downlines to go wide, it's naturally going to go deep. So go wide fast first. You are going to be duplicated. So everyone is learning, everyone is teaching, everyone is doing the same things you are doing. Then you are now going to have a, what we call a network. A network of what? A network of people doing the business, using the products a little bit. And your business is now going to grow. And as soon as you are going to have a network, you have spent time, you sacrifice, then slowly you will now start to reap the rewards. And what are the rewards I'm referring to? Because you now have a network, then you're going to have what we call the case credits. You make supervisor, get 25cc, make assistant manager, then you move up to the next step. Case credits. People before me, the first few sharers were telling us about how to make case credits. In our country, there are a lot of ways how to make case credits. No? First is you can invite people to the opportunity meetings, which we are very fortunate that our country, in almost all product centers, in more than 40 product centers all over the country, we have opportunity meetings almost every day. We have opportunity meetings every day from 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 6 o'clock in the evening, both for product and both for the business. That's why we can invite a lot of people. And when you invite people and they listen to the opportunity, chances are they'll be interested, they come back the next day, then they get their first 2 cases. Then you have case credits. That's one way of earning case credits. Another way is doing one-on-one opportunity meetings. Set up an appointment, do it in a restaurant, do it in their own office, or do it in your own office, invite them. Then do the marketing plan. Share the products right away. Then you still earn case credit. There's another way. You can do home parties or house meeting, or as Katrina was telling us, home shopping. Set up a schedule, talk to your downline, which is going to be the host, invite a few friends, the warm list, then start sharing the opportunity and the products to them. You are again going to make case credits. So we now have 3. 4 is you can do simple retail sales. Go out, sell products. It's a little bit harder though, because in our country most people do not like to sell. But little do they know that every day they sell something. Maybe not products, maybe some ideas, but they sell something. All of us sell. Okay, so the 4. 5 is to make case credits. The 5th way is for you to buy and use the products yourself. You make case credits too. So there are about 5 ways you can make case credits. And as you get 120 cases, then you move up to the manager level. And when you reach the manager level, most distributors, upon reaching manager level, they start to slow down. They start to relax because they think there is no more 2 months accumulation to think about, no more points to, to achieve, no more goals. Because now their manager, they think they make 2,000 US, 3,000 US, they're happy. It helps them in their finances. But I tell you, if you reach manager level, I call that small money. I reached manager level, we made 55,000 pesos. In our country, it's a big amount of money. You can live decently already. But we were thinking about our dreams. We were thinking about financial freedom. And if we compute the 55,000 that we were earning, or roughly about more than 2,000 US, it's not enough for us to achieve our dreams. So we have to continue. That's why we moved on. We work harder. When most of my peers started to slow down, we even doubled our time, slept less. And during the first 2 years, my wife was telling me, you told us that by joining Forever Living, we are going to have freedom. And now you don't have time with us. You have a growing family. I told my wife, this is just temporary. This is just temporary. And true indeed. It was just temporary. Because on the 3rd year, I was able to buy my wife a brand new house. We were able to buy brand new cars. We were able to invest our money. And now in 6 years, Forever Living plus our investments, we can now double, sometimes triple, what we are now earning. And I really thank Forever Living Products for that. Okay? And we're not through. We're about to be finished. Because as soon as you became manager, and if you work harder, if you double time, okay, the next step is to get the gem manager levels position. It was only when I reached sapphire manager when I realized that this is the start of the big money I was talking about. So think about it. As soon as you gem manager, sapphire. I'm only sapphire manager. Katrina is 3 years in the business and she's diamond manager. There's a lot that we have in our country to learn from this lady. You spend time, you sacrifice. The result, you save time. You retire young, you retire rich, you retire early. I'm only 33 years old. I started Forever Living 27 years old. Nobody believed me that at age 29, 30, I can become a multimillionaire in our country. Now, some of my friends are telling me, why didn't you force me to join Forever Living? So these are the steps that I do in my country. And I hope I was able to share something to you. And just to recap, just look at this. Why aren't some people achieving their dreams yet? Because they don't have big money yet. True? Why they don't have big money? Because they are not yet even gem managers. Probably they're managers. Okay? Probably they have small money. Or some people doesn't even have small money. Why? Because they aren't even managers yet. And why are they not managers yet? Because they don't have case credits. And why do they know they do not have case credits? Because they don't have a network. And it's because they cannot duplicate, they are not duplicatable. It's because they cannot teach, they cannot even stand in front of 2 or 3 people and share the opportunity. Why? Because they don't have knowledge about the business. And why do they have knowledge about the business? It's because they never learn. They hear a lot of things, but they never sit down and sacrifice, take down notes, record every meeting that the sponsor tells them to do. And why? Because they never change their attitude. Why? Because they do not like to become successful in FLP. So to end, as I was telling you earlier, it's not just the money that I have gained in this business. There are 4 things which I would like to share to you. Number 1, I was able to gain freedom, especially financial freedom. Now, I don't have to report to an office. I don't have to wake up very early in the morning, report 8 o'clock, and go home late at night. I go home sometimes, before I join Forever Living, I go home, my children are already asleep. I wake up, go to the office, my children are still asleep. That was my routine before. We had less time for communication, less time for my family. Now I have all the time. 24 hours, me and my wife are always together. And that's one good thing that I gained from this company, freedom. Not just financial freedom, freedom with my family, freedom with my time. Second, security. The network that I was now able to build, I just got my multi-generational recap ever since I joined. It was about more than 50,000 people who signed up and joined the business under my entire network, up to the 10th generation already. And it's quite a large number of people. And you know, my daughter is about 8 years old. By the time she becomes 18 years old, that is the network that she's going to have, whatever happens to us. Third, it's not just the freedom, the security. Third, it's the helping people business. That on our way up, we have helped many people, hundreds, later maybe thousands of people who has also become successful like us. And last but not the least is good health. What are we going to do with the money if we are sick? And most people today are working so hard to gain wealth. As soon as they have wealth, they squander all the wealth to regain back their health. That is not the right thing to do for me. So those are the 4 things which I gained by joining Forever Living. And I would like to take this opportunity first to thank our founding, the owner and our chairman, Mr. Rexmond, for sharing Forever Living to the whole world, especially for bringing Forever Living to the Philippines. To our very supportive managing director, Secretary Roylo Goles, and his wife, Nati Goles. I would like to thank them for bringing the opportunity to the Philippines, and to my wife, who has been supportive of me for the last 6 years. Thank you and have a good day. Thank you.